All right, good morning, folks. We are just out camped on a small little river that flows into another main tributary. It's just the weekend. I just finished up spending the last 2 weeks filming for the next episode of van camping. So I'm excited about that. This is going to be a great episode. Got a lot of cool stuff to share with you. It's got a couple weeks before it's going to release. I'm going for September 3rd. On that release. Got a lot of editing to do, but today I'm just kind of hanging out with some friends. I've got Megan with me and we're just kind of having a weekend and hanging out. It's been hot, as you can kind of see at the sun above us. It's summertime, middle of August. We've been in the upper 90s to basically upper 90s to low hundreds in some areas here, so it's just been super hot. So it's nice to have somewhere like this little river here where we can hang out, fish. We're going to put some crawfish traps in here in a minute. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be just a fun weekend. But I thought I'd take a minute here and just share with you guys a little something that might have me rebooting the Primal Outdoors channel. I'm going to play with it a little bit. We'll see how it works. But I've got a new action camera. I'm recording on it right now. This is the new DJI Action 4. Now I've had the one for quite some time, and I even got the Hero 10, the GoPro Hero 10, and this was actually an action camera I was really highly hopeful. I had the little media mod on there for the mic. I thought this was going to be a great option for me as far as being able to do quick vlogs, but this camera turned out to be a complete piece of junk. You can't trust it. It hardly turns on. When it does turn on, doesn't video right, stabilization whacks out, just does all kinds of crazy stuff. GoPro, you really need to get your crap together. Your cameras really suck. Anyways, this one, which is the Osmo Action 1, has been very solid. I've used this camera a lot for different shots. Never really vlogged with it, but I have used it for a lot of just interesting shots on the van. And it's always worked, always been solid, always been a great camera. So when DJI came out with the Action 3, I was very interested in getting that one because it had 10-bit color. And I was interested in that. But this one, when the Action 4 came out, I pre-ordered it as soon as I watched the first review on it because it has a bigger sensor and it has 10-bit color. So I think this will be a great camera for some interesting shots for van camping. But for most part, I think it's going to be a great camera for me to actually shoot some vlog stuff for you guys on the Primal Outdoors and maybe go ahead and start putting some content out on this channel again that's fresh and new and not just stuff that I've showed from van camping to get you guys to go to van camping, which if you haven't gone to van camping, you really should go to van camping. So like I said, we're just hanging out this weekend. We're going to hang out here on this river. We've got the vans parked over there, and it's just going to be like a kind of a, what I call a little bit of a vacation weekend. Like I said, I just got back from 2 weeks of filming for van camping. There was a lot going on there. I've got a lot of footage to go through. So this weekend is just going to be kind of chill. My buddy is actually heading off on a full week vacation, so he's spending a couple days with me and Megan, and then he's going to take off and go hit some other areas, and then I'm going to head back to the shop so that I can start editing that episode of van camping, which, like I said, will come out September 3rd. But we are going to set some crawfish traps today, so there's a lot of crawfish in this river. Too many, in fact. Talking to Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife, there is actually way too many crawfish in this river. So they highly encourage me to get out some crawfish traps and catch some crawfish today. So that's one of the things that we're going to do. And I've also played around a little bit with my fly pole, and I've caught a couple very small trout, nothing to get excited about. So I think, like I said, our focus is going to be on crawfish. And maybe if we can catch a few, we'll have a little crawfish bowl tonight. Get it. Get it. Good job. Good job, Brandy. Alright guys, well, we've just been hanging out. This is shirtless Jason and shirtless Scott because it's summertime and we're on the riverbank. Yeah, old guys with no shirts, nobody loves it, but we're gonna check the crawfish trap for the second time. I actually got another one upriver, but
this one's not looking too hot.
It's not looking super full. For as many crawfish that are in this river, I mean, there's some. That guy's actually pretty good size, though. That one there, he's actually pretty decent size. They'll turn bright red when they're done. Oh, well, just rip the tail off like it's a little lobster. So that's just a little, it's not really poop, but it's poop. I'm trying to sugarcoat it here, Scott, for the women. I mean, it's just like lobster. With a little butter, a little garlic butter.
Crawfish flown to his house.
Probably gets
Maine lobster.
No, he does crawfish too.
Probably does. The ones he probably gets flown to his house are probably twice the size of these.
Right?
Yeah.
Alright guys, well, we're starting to come to the end of the day. You can see the sun is starting to fall and we are coming to the end of a fun day. It's actually cooling down. It's getting real nice. It actually got pretty warm today and we swam for a little bit and that was nice. But we actually spent most of the day screwing around getting crawfish and that was a lot of fun. Now they weren't very big, but again, they're evasive in this river. So ODF&W said catch as many as you can. So we did. And I don't know how many we had. We had quite a bit. But we had a big crawfish boil. Now, some of the way that we did it is we threw out some traps that a friend of mine, Joe, loaned to me, and we threw the traps out with some tuna fish, and that worked okay. We got a few crawfish in that trap, but it didn't work out great, and we actually had 2 traps, but I don't know what happened. Probably a mistake on my part. I didn't get the trap together all the way or something like that, but when I pulled in the trap, I lost it. It came apart. So we didn't get anything out of the second trap. But the way we caught most of the crawfish is my buddy Joe also gave us these little nets. So we just kind of spent like moving around the river and using a stick, or I actually use the camera here, the new little DJI Action 4. You kind of herd them in and then they would try to get away and you'd catch them with the little net, and that was fun. And that was not only a fun activity and it was fun to do, but we were a lot more productive that way. So if you're ever out, like maybe with the kids or something, you got some place like this where you got a lot of crawfish, this is just a fun activity. I think the kids would have a lot of fun with it. So yeah, that was fun. But then, like I said, we spent pretty much the afternoon. Once things got real warm, we swam for a little bit and then we cooked up those crawfish. We boiled them up. Scott and Brandy, had a bigger pot and we were able to boil them up with a little Creole seasoning. And then we snacked away on them. And when I do say snack, we did definitely snack because they were very tiny. But it was a great little appetizer before dinner. So that was a lot of fun. All right, folks, well, I came away from camp a little bit. I thought we'd finish up this video. I want to share a few thoughts on this new DJI Action 4 camera that I'm using for this vlog. Pretty much use this camera for everything. We put it underwater, used it to capture pretty much everything that you've seen in this video. Well, not pretty much everything you've seen in this video has been captured on this camera. Now, I actually, like I said, bought this camera as something to use for the van camping channel, just to be able to grab those little interesting perspectives, like, for example, you know, maybe have it attached under the van, things like that, places where I'm not obviously going to put my good, like, Sony cameras that I use. But I've used my other DJI Action for that, and that has always worked great. But this had a few more features, like I said, the 10-bit color that really attracted me, and the new the fact that it can also film and log, that also attracted me, because that just makes it a little bit easier for me to try to match this footage with other cameras that I'm filming with. So technically I bought this pretty much for the van camping channel, but as I've been using it and kind of messing around with it, I have decided that I feel like it would be good to use to maybe still keep the Primal Outdoors channel going with some more like run and gun vlog footage, maybe some informational videos, things like that, that I'm not going to cover in van camping. Like, the van camping will always be kind of a more cinematic approach to my camps, and those videos will always have a lot more effort put into it. But there's a lot of details and things and questions that you guys have that I see in the comments that don't always get addressed through that type of content, that maybe I can start handling a little bit better with this. So where I thought I was going to just completely shut down the Primal Outdoors channel and just quit posting to it, maybe, just maybe, the DJI Action 4 is actually going to be the savior of the Primal Outdoors channel, and we'll go ahead and keep some content rolling out. I highly doubt that it's going to be on any type of schedule. It'll just be when a thought or an idea comes into my head, or something that I feel like you guys might be interested in. I will, you know, grab this camera out and shoot a quick video. Now, the one thing that I would like to see improved on the camera is the ability to have some type of dead cat attached to it. Now, if you guys are familiar with the DJI mics, they have a little twist-on dead cat that you can actually just twist onto the mic. I saw, when I actually saw this review, I think the YouTube channel was called Potato Jet. He also recommended that if those same little twist-on dead cats could also twist on to this camera.
What's nice about those mics is that you can attach like the fluffy wind cover mic things. You know, one thing I wish we could do is take these like cover things that you can attach to the DJI mics and attach it into the microphones on this camera by itself, so that it does become a decent vlogging solution.
The next revision, if we could just twist on those little dead cats over the mic, man, this would make it a perfect camera, because right now I'm using one of the DJI mics. I have it under my shirt, and that's what I'm recording this audio into. But when you're doing vlog stuff, the easier it can be to just grab the camera, turn it on, and share whatever you want. It makes it a lot more intuitive, because if I think that I have to take time to set up a camera, to set up a mic, or do any of these extra things, then a lot of times I might be like, I don't feel like it. But if the camera is super simple to where I can just basically pick it up, hit the record button, and just continue on with what I'm doing without any intrusion from the camera itself, it makes it a lot better. So DJI, if you're listening, and I know you guys do listen, if you guys are listening, little twist-on dead cats, they could be the, you know, in fact, if they were the same ones that the DJI mics actually use, that would be great, because then that way they would work across both platforms. I love my DJI mics. I think they're great, but like, again, for this vlog kind of stuff where I'm just like trying to run and gun, if I could just twist one of those onto this camera, that would be awesome. So anyways, that's my one, thing. But other than that, the camera has worked great. I love the fact that I pretty much can just hit the record button. It fires right up quick. And I was, able to pretty much run around and film what we had going on this weekend, which was, like I said, just kind of a chill camping with some friends, my girlfriend Megan, doing some crawdad fishing and just hanging out and having a good time. That's my kind of half review of the Action 4. Of course, there's other channels that's all they do is these reviews. So I would check into those if this is something that you're interested in. You can hear about all the features, but really I only care about how I really pertain to use these cameras. And like I said, this one is simple, easy, and so far I'm pretty happy with it. So I think it's going to be a great camera. But anyways, guys, like I said, we're kind of hoping that we might get some more content out to the Primal Outdoors channel. So hopefully that will make some of you happy. Maybe this camera will save the Primal Outdoors channel for future content and original content. So it won't just be me, you know, advertising the van camping channel, which is what I've been doing, which I will continue to do because, you know, like I am posting stuff there. And I know a lot of you guys really do like what I'm putting out on the van camping channel. And that will still probably be my priority as far as where I put most of my time into. But as I come up with different ideas that don't really fit the genre of that channel, I can post those here on the Primal Outdoors channel. And if I have a easy to use camera like this DJI Action 4, then that makes it a lot more intuitive for me, and more likely I'll get more content out. So anyhow, guys, look forward to more content on the Primal Outdoors channel coming soon. I've got a couple things coming up that I do know that I have, and we'll be posting those along this week as well. And we'll see you guys again outside.